Imagine Dragons' Smoke and Mirrors. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Now, to be fair, I have not listened to that many albums in their entirety in my lifetime. I've mainly only listened to Imagine Dragons albums in their entirety because I know they're all gonna be clean, to be honest. But still, Smoke and Mirrors is one of my favorite albums of all time. I love it so much. And as some of you may know, last week, Imagine Dragons released an entire 14-song album kind of thing consisting of unreleased demos from Smoke and Mirrors. And this little album event thingy to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Smoke and Mirrors was such a roller coaster in terms of the vibes. It went all over the place. I feel like there were like 3 different vibes, no, let's say 4 different vibes in this album. And the vibes kind of went from happy, life is great, let's go, chat, to like toxic relationship / experimental. I said 4, but no, toxic relationship / very experimental song. And then it went to sad, depressing, but still banger, but sad. You know, like Dream from the original Smoke and Mirrors. And so as I was listening to this album, it got me thinking about this idea that I've had for a long time, that Smoke and Mirrors really has this very distinct vibe. And although, like, the songs have and are supposed to evoke different emotions for, like, each song, I feel like it all just fits in coherently into this one really nice, really cool vibe. And I really love the vibe. That's one of the main reasons I love Smoke and Mirrors, because the vibes are immaculate. And also... What was that? I'm sorry.
A hot minute of trying to recover my voice late there.
Also, as I was listening to these demos, I started thinking, hey, some of these demos definitely fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors and should have gone in there. And so today I'm going to talk through the entire lineup of songs from Reflections and just kind of talk about whether or not I think they should have been improved upon and put into Smoke and Mirrors. And this is all my opinion. You guys can have different opinions. If you do have different opinions, let me know them down in the comments, and let's get into it. So, the first song that we have on this honestly pretty goated album is Woke. And I know, that sounds like a really funny name, like, especially these days. It's not about being woke, it's about, like, how he woke up in the morning and was feeling happy or something like that. I know that the song had a happier vibe. I honestly cannot remember it, though. I've got Black stuck in my head right now. Black was a goat. Black was a banger. But because Woke has this more happy vibe that I was, like, just talking about, I feel like it does not fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors. Sup, I'm currently editing this video. I filmed it a while ago and then left for a winter retreat with my youth group, and I've now returned and am editing, and I feel like my opinion on this song and whether or not it should have gone into Smoke and Mirrors, I feel like it's changed. I feel like it should have gone into Smoke and Mirrors, cause like, although the lyrics are more happy and a lot of the Smoke and Mirrors songs do not really have that kind of happy, bouncy kind of vibe that Woke does, I feel like its instruments and like the sounds and stuff it uses in the song definitely fit the vibe. Like there's this little thing, there's like this little melody thing in the background that goes my voice, and like the whatever instrument it was that they used for that, like it definitely has a much more like that instrument's vibe fits Smoke and Mirrors because they use that or some like noises like that in Smoke and Mirrors a lot. And so, you know, I feel like my opinion on Woke and whether or not it should have been in Smoke and Mirrors has changed. I feel like it should have been in there. So, yeah. Goodness, the way I am yapping. This is why I couldn't make this video a YouTube short. I wanted to make it a short, but if it has anything to do with talking, I cannot make it a short, guys. Anyway, the next song is The Ghost Intervention, and upon first listening to this, like the day that it came out, I thought, or I didn't like it that much, and then I re-listened to it for the purposes of this video, but now I've forgotten it again, but I remember thinking, when I re-listened to it, that it was actually a banger, and fit really well into Smoke and Mirrors, so I'm gonna go listen to it real quick, and I will come back to you with my thoughts on why it should have been in Smoke and Mirrors. I just listened to it, not the whole thing, but, some of it, a bit of it, and, oh my word, I understand why I thought it was goated. It's like, okay, it's got this more hardcore hitting kind of thing with its vibe, not upon starting out, but like, in the chorus, oh my gosh, the chorus. If you can call it a chorus, I don't know, to be honest. But, it was, like, really good. There were so many different musical aspects, and it was, like, so creative. Like, there was this, like, more, like, I don't even know what the instrument would be called, or, like, how you would explain it, but there was this, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was not, like, the regular, more, like, tech-y kind of music, or the kind of musical instrument type stuff that they used in their songs. And I thought, it doesn't go with the song, or the vibe of the song, but it does at the same time. And I feel like but like that piece I'm talking about specifically that I will cut to, like, let's say right now. That piece, yeah, it kind of, it fits with the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors somehow. I don't know how, but, like, I feel like each different piece, like, aspect of the song, at least that I listened to just now, fits with Smoke and Mirrors in its own way. Like, it fits with a different song in Smoke and Mirrors, and just in Smoke and Mirrors in general, and I honestly think it should have been released with Smoke and Mirrors. It was, woo! Heat. Fire. Fire. Okay, then we have Monica. Now, Monica was, like, the single that the demo that they released as a single to promote this album before releasing the whole thing. And, I didn't really like it. Upon first listen, I especially didn't like it. I like it a lot more now, like, it's actually on my playlists now, as opposed to when I first listened to it, and I was like, well, I'll pass up on adding this to my playlist. I like it. It doesn't fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors for me. It's just, like, I feel like they were really creative with, like, in these demos, they do a lot of, I said this already, experimental kind of stuff, and sometimes it works, for me at least, and sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like in the case of Monica, it didn't really, although I did like the song anyway. So yeah, no, this doesn't fit with the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors. I don't think it should have released with Smoke and Mirrors, but the fact that it's here in Reflections is really cool that we get to hear it now. Now, as for Black, the next song in my little lineup, in my screenshot that I have showing on my school computer, Black definitely fits the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors. Like, I feel like lyrically, it's giving Monster and Dreams a little, or not Dreams, Dream, or like The Unknown and The Fall a little bit. I remembered the verses now, and I can't think of exactly which song it kind of fits more of the vibe of, but I know that the whole album, the whole Smoke and Mirrors album, it definitely fits the vibe of, and the chorus is a really cool and vibely. I keep saying vibe. I can't stop saying vibe, guys. It's a problem. But yeah, holy cow, what was a problem? Bruh, Black fit the vibe. The after all that we've been through, can I take it back to you? I know it was can I bring it back to you? And then the rest of the chorus, yeah. Can I take it back? Let it fade to black. Yes. Yes, they ate. And then moving on to Strange Ways, which is the next one. I keep saying this is the next one, but like if I'm moving on to it, it's the next one. Strange Ways does not fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors, but I think it's really good. I really like it. I feel like something that they did with Dan Reynolds' vocals, or something that Dan Reynolds did with his vocals in like the way he chose to sing it, reminded me of like Pharrell Williams' Despicable Me 3 songs. Like, after listening to this song for like the second time, I actually posted to my Instagram story being like, yo, this song is giving Pharrell Williams' Despicable Me 3 songs. Just like more vocally, but also in the vibes as well. I really like it, but it is not Smoke and Mirrors-y. I feel like maybe it could have released as like a single. I feel like Imagine Dragons back then should have shown more of their, like, versatility in the kind of songs they make, or the kind of songs they can make. They should have kind of shown that off by, like, maybe making a more happy vibes album out of these demos after releasing Smoke and Mirrors, or, like, releasing some of these demos, improving upon them, of course, and then releasing them as, like, singles. I feel like they should have released a lot of these, but not to Smoke and Mirrors, you know? And then we have I Get Carried Away. I Get Carried Away is really interesting. It had like a really long intro. It had like a minute-long intro, I think. It was really cool. Like, once it got to the chorus, I, like, didn't listen. I listened to it again before making this video, but I can't remember a lot of it except for the chorus. It had these video game-ish sounds, like noises in the background as part of the beat, but not just part of the beat, just like the whole song. They had like video game noises, like there was a da 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 da, and it was like really cool. But this does not fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors either. Like mostly because of like the first verse. Or no, not the first verse, just the verses in general. I feel like the chorus more fits Smoke and Mirrors, but I don't know about the video game-y vibe. Maybe this could have gone in Origins. I feel like because of the video game-y-ness, like, that kind of goes with Bad Liars, like, do, 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 that kind of stuff. It kind of sounds like that, but higher. And like, maybe it could have gone in Origins later, I don't know. It's really cool though, because in Reflections, they have a lot of songs that give off the vibes of like, albums that they released later on. Like I was just saying, I Get Carried Away is kind of giving more, Origins vibes. Or like, I remember listening to one song, oh yeah, A-OK, which is the next song I'm going to talk about. A-OK, like, that reminded me of Mercury, because Mercury also had this very roller coaster-y kind of thing. It was less like 3 vibes, and more like happy to depressed, but still banger, but depressed, like I said earlier. And I think it's really cool that, like, they always had this versatility in the not versatility, variety in the kind of songs they made, but because they didn't add all of these to future albums or things like that, we couldn't see it yet until Reflections, and now I'm just geeking. So yeah, anyway, I Get Carried Away does not belong in Smoke and Mirrors, in my opinion, but it should have been released somewhere else, to be honest. And now it is, so I'm happy about that. Next one is, like I said, A-OK. This one does not fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors because it's happy. Like, literally, like, part of the end of the chorus is, I've been living my bestest life, I've been living my bestest life. It's giving, like, a song that they would have put in Mercury Act 2. Or Acts 1 and 2, because they didn't specifically do an Act 2 by itself. They did Mercury Act 1, and then they did Mercury Acts 1 and 2. I feel like it should have gone with Acts 1 and 2. Except, of course, this was written in a different time in Dan Reynolds' life, so of course, maybe he wasn't feeling that during Mercury, but like, this is giving more of a Mercury vibe to me than it is Smoke and Mirrors, so like, I don't think this should have gone in Smoke and Mirrors. I'm glad it's released though, I'm glad it's out. And now, for, I believe, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, not really go out on a limb, I'm gonna say, this next one we're going into here, is my favorite from Reflections, and it is Destroyed. Any Imagine Dragons song where they are getting, that uses basically a synonym for heartbroken, kind of, I guess. But it's ending in ED will always be fire. Because we got wrecked, we got crushed, and we got destroyed now. And they're all bangers, guys. Okay, anyway, I thought Destroyed was really good, but the important question is, do I think it should have gone on Smoke and Mirrors? And the answer is, yes, I do. This goes so well with the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors. I'm trying to think of songs it fits well with now. I feel like it fits well with Dream, and like kind of The Unknown, kind of The Fall. The Fall, definitely The Fall. It's giving The Fall, kind of. It's like a mixture, like, lyrically of Dream, kind of-ish, and of The Fall, and I love it so much. This should have gone on the album. I would have been obsessed in middle school, which wasn't that long ago, but I would have been obsessed in middle school, for real. So, yes, this should have gone on Smoke and Mirrors. Okay, next thing, Playin' Me. This one was interesting. I remember I listened to this in the car on the way home from church with my family yesterday. And, I was listening to it and I was thinking, this is giving the same vibe as Sharks. Like, this has the same beat type sort of thing as Sharks, in my opinion. But it does not fit the vibe. It shouldn't have gone in Smoke and Mirrors. Maybe released as a single like Sharks originally was before the release of Mercury Acts 1 and 2, but, no, it shouldn't have gone in Smoke and Mirrors. I liked it though, it was pretty fun. Then we have My Car. My Car is so interesting to me because of the way that Dan Reynolds jumped between, like, octaves and stuff. Like, hang on, I'm gonna play a clip of the song, a clip of the chorus, because this is what he did.
Let's go, my time is critical in my car, oh, in my car.
Yeah. I listened to this, I was like, oh, okay, slay, eat, pop off, all the things, and like, oh my word, it's so good, so good. It's such a fun song, so enjoyable, it's on my playlists now, but it's not the vibe. It is not Smoke and Mirrors. It should have been released as a single, like maybe after Smoke and Mirrors, like improved upon and released as a single. I keep saying improved upon, but like, yeah, no, they need to be improved upon first because they're just demos. But like, it should have been improved upon and released as a single because this is so good and this is so interesting. And it shows the variety of the songs that Imagine Dragons makes. Yeah, not Smoke and Mirrors, he should have been released as a single. Now for Cowboy, I feel like you guys know what I'm gonna say if you've heard this album. Cowboy is too happy to be in Smoke and Mirrors. So yeah, no, not Smoke and Mirrorsy. I feel like it should have been released sooner though, either way. Let's see, Mayday. I can't remember much about Mayday right now. I remember it didn't have one of the happy vibes. I think it might have had the toxic relationship kind of vibe, but not like lyrically. I can't remember. By the way, the toxic relationship kind of vibe, it doesn't have to be lyrically like a toxic relationship, I guess. It just has to give the same vibe as the songs that they make about toxic relationships. And it doesn't have the depressed but still banger but depressed. I don't think, at least. I don't remember. But I do know that it did not fit the vibe of Smoke and Mirrors because I have a thing on my computer telling me. Mayday, no, not Smoke and Mirrors. And same for The Journey. The Journey was fun. The Journey was another happy vibe one. But also not Smoke and Mirrorsy because it had that happy vibe. And that is the entire album. Except they also released a demo version of I Bet My Life, which was so interesting to hear. Like this morning when I listened to it for the first time, I just sat there and I was like, oh, this is so different. Oh, the bridge is different. Oh my word. And then I literally said out loud to my siblings in the room, I was like, is this how Swifties feel? It was really cool to hear the I Bet My Life demo. And of course, I do think that should have gone on Smoke and Mirrors because it did. So yeah, that is my video yapping about Imagine Dragons. Thank you for watching, thank you for sitting through my yapping. I apologize to, like, the Imagine Dragons fans that wanted to hear some kind of deep explanation, whatever, about why these songs should have been released. No, this is just all my opinion, but thank you for getting this far, either way, and I hope to see you guys some other time. Bye.
And here comes the end of my documentaries.